Welcome to Iron Pulse Media. In this video, we bring you raw and unfiltered footage from the front lines of the Ukraine war. Watch as Ukrainian drones strike with precision from above and tanks engage in intense ground combat. In the early hours of a bitterly cold December the 14th, Russian forces launched a massive assault on the Ukrainian brigade. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone spotted 6B M21 Grad multiple rocket launcher systems. This is a weapon capable of launching up to 40 rockets in rapid succession, designed to saturate and neutralize a wide area. Ukrainian drones were rapidly deployed to neutralize these threats. The first drone successfully neutralized one of the launchers. Then the second drone moved in and struck another launcher. Drone footage confirmed that one of the systems was engulfed in flames. At first, it was unclear whether the attack was a full-scale offensive or a diversionary maneuver. This uncertainty arose because only a single Russian tank was observed moving along an unusual route. As the reconnaissance drone tracked the tank, an MTLB light armored personnel carrier emerged from a different direction. The MTLB is a versatile military vehicle designed to transport troops and support logistics by carrying ammunition and equipment. Launching an attack with only a single vehicle did not appear to make strategic sense. Another Russian tank, in an unexpected maneuver, moved in a third direction. The Ukrainian army recognized this as an attempt to disperse their artillery firepower. A quick assessment was needed to determine the enemy as main direction of attack. Russian infantry advanced in small groups of 7 to 10 soldiers from 3 different directions, moving toward the Ukrainian defensive lines. The enemy attacked from multiple points, forcing Ukrainian forces to respond with the precision and strategy of a chess master. Every move demanded a careful and calculated response. Many FPV drones targeted fortified Russian tanks, while grenade launcher fire joined the effort. Teaser tanks withstood the attacks due to their strong armor, but eventually one was destroyed by fire, thanks to the efforts of the Ukrainian army. A tank's greatest strength comes from its coordination with infantry support, but the infantry was nowhere to be found. The Russians covered the front line with thick smoke, reducing visibility and weakening the Ukrainian defenses. Ukrainian soldiers heard a growing hum, the unmistakable sign of approaching vehicles and equipment. 5 separate assault groups struck at the same time from different directions, completely destroying the tank in the process. A Russian tank was struck by a Ukrainian kamikaze drone while it was opening fire. Despite being hit, the tank continued to fire, though, with low accuracy and limited range, as the added welded armor restricted its ability to turn. This clearly demonstrated the Russians' familiarity with the area and reflected the prolonged impact of the war that had been waged there. The Ukrainians worked to identify effective positions for their anti-tank weapons, but the heavily fortified tank proved too resilient to be easily destroyed by drones. 5 different drones had previously attempted to take it down, but all failed. 2 additional MTLBs were advancing from a different direction. Such multi-directional attacks are designed to fracture defensive lines and sow confusion among defending forces. The tank continued its advance, crashing through the trees. Faced with this situation, Ukrainian forces recognized that only an armored counterattack could halt the tank. An armored group advanced to engage the Russian tank, and upon spotting the Ukrainian armored vehicles, the Russian forces began to retreat. While pursuing the Russian tank, the Ukrainian tank came under attack from 4 FPV drones and sustained some damage. The opposite flank, where the Russians had also crossed the tree line, witnessed intense activity as well. Of enemy buggies and motorcycles advanced, followed closely by an MTLB light armored personnel carrier. On the left flank, Ukrainian spotters identified 20 motorcycles and 4 buggies. Two additional MTLBS were advancing from a different direction. Such multi-directional attacks are designed to fracture defensive lines and sow confusion among defending forces. Kamikaze drones neutralized the MTLBS, forcing the infantry inside to retreat rapidly. On the opposite flank, an FPV drone pilot successfully took out a Russian tank. The crew abandoned the vehicle and fled toward the direction of Ukrainian infantry. At the same time, enemy forces on motorcycles attempted to use the terrain to their advantage by moving toward one of the valleys. The hilly and complex terrain offered a strategic advantage for highly mobile vehicles. When the Russian motorcyclists entered the forested area, they encountered Ukrainian infantry and sustained heavy losses. A Ukrainian kamikaze drone targeted a Russian MTLB light armored personnel carrier carrying infantry, inflicting serious damage on the vehicle. The armor on these vehicles is not strong enough to withstand intense attacks. As the vehicle was being abandoned, Ukrainian drone pilots completely destroyed it. Motorcycles and 4 Russian vehicles were then sent to advance toward Ukrainian positions. Reconnaissance drone footage revealed that this group was accompanied by an FPV drone. The Ukrainian army recognized that drones alone wouldn't suffice and provided support with 152mm American howitzers. An accurate grenade drop by a drone operator dealt significant damage to the enemy, but one notable detail emerged. No Russian soldier paused to assist their wounded comrade. This once again highlights the harsh realities of war. Some Russian soldiers were equipped with electronic warfare devices and shotguns to counter the FPV drones. One MTLB previously damaged by a drone attack could only move forward, likely because its turning mechanism was completely jammed. After the vehicle was abandoned, Ukrainian drone operators acted swiftly to completely neutralize the group of Russian soldiers. Another group of Russian infantry was forced to make an emergency landing in the middle of a field following a drone attack. This group of 6 was also intercepted by Ukrainian operators. In war, quick decision-making and the effective use of technology often make all the difference. On the other flank, drone pilots targeted Russian troops on motorcycles. One drone operator spotted 3 Russian soldiers on the horizon and engaged one of them. Next, the drone focused on another soldier. Russian vehicles then advanced toward Ukrainian positions. 2 additional vehicles advanced, but a drone scored a direct hit on one of them, bringing it to a stop. 2 soldiers inspected the vehicles and found that each was equipped with machine guns, disposable grenade launchers, and supplies of water and food. This suggested that the Russians intended not only to launch an attack, but also to establish a foothold in the area. In certain areas, Russian forces managed to infiltrate between Ukrainian positions. The groups were swiftly neutralized by Ukrainian drones and artillery fire. One stark reality of the war was that the enemy had nowhere to hide, with some Russian infantry being stopped by bombs. One infantryman feigned being unarmed and attempted to shoot down a drone. In another scene, a Russian soldier carrying an electronic warfare device left it on his motorcycle and attempted to shoot down a drone with his assault rifle. On the right flank, another Russian assault group initiated an attack. Following a successful grenade strike by a Ukrainian FPV drone, the area was targeted with cluster munitions. And MTLB carrying Russian infantry was intercepted and forced to retreat. Another group attempting to advance through the area was stopped by drone strikes. A large number of infantrymen split into small groups of 3, launching attacks from 5 to 7 different directions. These simultaneous attacks are designed to sow chaos and weaken defensive lines. However, Ukraine's swift counterattacks quickly neutralized this plan. On May 9, 2025, near the village of Nova, Postinka in the Donetsk region, 2 infantry soldiers from the 59th Motorized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces found themselves in an exceptionally dangerous engagement. Tension quickly escalated when they spotted an assault group of 5 Russian soldiers rapidly advancing on their position. The Russian unit arrived in an off-road vehicle, driving directly toward the position of the 2 Ukrainian soldiers. It appeared the Russians were unaware of the Ukrainian presence in the area as they exited the vehicle casually, without taking any precautions. That brief moment of ease quickly turned to panic as one of the Russian soldiers scanned the area. He suddenly spotted a Ukrainian infantryman, triggering a firefight. The situation escalated rapidly. One Russian soldier fired an explosive weapon, but the projectile missed its mark, striking an abandoned building nearby. The misfire cost the Russians several crucial seconds. Meanwhile, Ukrainian reconnaissance units monitoring the situation quickly moved in to intervene. Realizing the 2 infantrymen were not alone, they deployed FPV drones to support the engagement. The initial drone strike inflicted injuries on multiple Russian soldiers. With some enemy soldiers still active, the drone operators pressed on with relentless attacks. From that point forward, control of the engagement rested solely with the Ukrainian forces. Despite being outnumbered, the support of FPV drones gave them the upper hand. One surviving Russian soldier attempted to flee, desperately seeking a trench or any form of cover, but the drone operators made sure that escape was impossible. Instantly, a drone locked onto the fleeing soldier and struck directly, ending the escape effort. After the strike, the Ukrainian forces secured complete control of the area. The Ukrainian infantrymen emerged safely, approached the wounded enemy, and neutralized the threat, bringing the operation to a successful close. Thank you for watching Iron Pulse Media. We bring you the stories that matter straight from the front lines. If you found our coverage valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest reports. Your support helps us continue our mission of delivering unfiltered, real-time updates from the world's most critical conflict zones. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time on Iron Pulse Media.